What's up, guys? Happy 4th of July. Welcome to week number 10 of off-season training. This is my deadlift day for the week. Came in early like I normally do on Saturday mornings and knocked out some of this work, and then jumped in with the kind of semi-random group of people that kind of jump in and do some strongman work on Saturdays. So I'm still trying to incorporate some of the principles that I learned at the Sheiko and Koklaev seminar with regard to keeping my percentages a little bit lower, really focusing on dialing in technique, still trying to hold the good positioning I am off of the floor with my pulls, and really trying to drive from the legs. And for me, the difficult thing is trying to find the perfect balance between keeping that technique cueing in my mind, but then also still being aggressive with it, because although it is technical and we do want the angles, the deadlift is a violent lift to some degree, and I rely on that aggression and that intent with the bar. So you can see some of these, this particular one moved kind of slow. The rest were all very smooth, but the weight felt heavier in my hands than it really should have. I don't know if this is just me not being used to kind of slowing things down a little bit, or if, I don't know, if just it's me getting used to that setup. But you can see as I kind of go through these, they do get smoother. I ended up doing 5 working sets of 3 with 455. On one of them, I got a little pissed and decided to go semi-partial retard and ended up yanking the bar, so then I toned it down a little bit on the set after that. So still working on finding that balance between good positioning, solid technique, but also still being aggressive and moving the bar with a purpose. I think this is a YOLO set here. But overall, got some really good work in. Next week, I'll probably push the weight up a little higher and maybe add a little bit more volume, since I am trying to also track my total number of lifts and then keep those compared to kind of the Prilipin chart to make sure that I'm getting an adequate stimulus, regardless of whatever percentage that I'm working with. So overall, with my programming, a lot of things are kind of variables. I really enjoy what I'm doing with my squat training, but I'm a little bit less settled with my deadlift training. I will be bringing it back in some deficit work, since I do believe that is partially contributing to my lack of speed off of the floor. Deficits tend to work really well for me and to drive my deadlift up. So I'll be using these as the main secondary lift, but the main pulls from the floor, I don't know. I'm working with weights that feel good for that day, whether that be closer to the 70% side or whether it's closer to the 80 or 85% side. I'm just making sure that no matter which weight I end up deciding to work with, that I'm keeping true to that Prilipin table, and we'll see how that works. It's not a way that I typically program people that I work with, but I'm not training for anything specifically right now, and I want to get better at lifting. I want to become a smoother, more technically sound lifter. That way, when I do plug that into a meet prep scenario, that I can take all of the technique work that I've put in over the last several months and apply that into some more consistent programming. But for right now, I want to get better at the lifts, and I want to use weights that allow me to dial in that technique. I want to build volume. I want to work on body composition a little bit, and I want to bring up weak points. And the way to do that is to use these variations in an intelligent way. So if I end up learning something new about how I like to structure those and how I respond best, then that's fantastic. But I'm trying to go into this with a little bit more of an open mind than I have in the past, because I usually like to have everything very, very planned out, and I just I haven't had the resources mentally to be able to do that. I've got a lot of things going on, both on the business end and kind of on the personal end. We're most likely going to be moving in the next couple months, like 2. And so my brain and my priorities have kind of been elsewhere, and my training has been consistent because that's something that I need to do to stay balanced and focused. But it's been consistent and fluid at the same time. And I think that's kind of allowed me to keep this one piece of my life that does provide me so much grounding and focus, but not have it take over my thoughts as much as it has in the past. So that's why you kind of see me from week to week maybe changing variations or kind of throwing some new things in there, and it's partially because I'm making adjustments on the fly, and it's partially just because I'm just enjoying training for the purposes of enjoying training. And you know, if someday I want to feel like pulling on blocks because somebody is, then I will. And if I feel like pulling off a deficit, I will. And if I feel like coming out here and doing some really shitty looking log presses, then I'm gonna do it just to enjoy using my body. So I feel like all of these things are going to contribute to me, you know, growing stronger and just enjoying training over the summertime here while I get the rest of my life calmed down to a place where I can focus more. So that is it. Hopefully that's not too much of a ramble for you. I typically am a little bit more on topic, but that's what I got going on. So as always, if you like the video, please like and share and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. Be sure to check out the gym's website at www.savagegym.com.